2v2 on Semoskiy. This game is going to be FakDaPoliceee and Chisaki get ScHrEkEd versus ScHrEkEd, Gaddaffi, and Peri.
Point secure. Maintain the position.
Double Soviets on the left side, mixed Axis on the right, and we have a really early Festoon armor pick. So, guess I'm curious to see how that's going to work out. Gaddaffi has gone with Luftwaffe ground forces, fortifications, and breakthrough. Festoon has, of course, no Tiger. Its command tank doctrine does have hull down and panzer tactician. Pack 43 means that Gaddaffi probably doesn't want to go fortifications, or they're gonna be pretty easy to counter with just heavy artillery. Railway artillery is kind of neat, I guess. So, I don't know. Not sure what I think about that that commander.
Machine gun ready.
Gonna have to rely on his tier 4. Tier 3, well, actually tier 3 would probably be pretty okay against industry. Which we might see double industry this game. I don't know. I've already got industry picked here by FakDaPoliceee. And it looks like ScHrEkEd kind of might be planning to go industry as well, since Maxim Spam seems to be a popular thing to do before transitioning into industry. I don't know. I've seen it before. Maxim Spam's kind of old school. Most people don't do this anymore. But he's only gone with 3 and getting himself on mortar 9. On Semoskiy, it's going to be a pretty weak opening, honestly. Axis have already secured total control of the central buildings. Allies have been... honestly, didn't even make much of a push at all for the center. Wow, double Maxim Spam. They're both opening with 3 Maxims. That's, on Semoskiy, I think, probably pretty weak. Especially since FakDaPoliceee, whatever, came straight down here towards the south. I don't know, maybe not. Once his Maxims push up from this area, might be a little bit more successful, but with the Axis having this defense position, total building control of the center, I don't really see Maxim Spam working out very well. This Chisaki has already been pushed all the way back to their base. And nade almost wipes the squad, and it gets cleared. Pretty nice nade there by Gaddaffi. I don't know, it's kind of gonna be up to FakDaPoliceee to make something happen here in the south. He needs to apply a lot of pressure to this area. There's already a mortar on the field to counter, though.
Yes, comrade.
Maxim moves right up to fire on that mortar, I guess. Ooh, that was a really nice opening hit right there. Maxim starts taking control of the cutoff. Gaddaffi continues to apply a lot of pressure to the Soviets right here on this strategic point, just right outside their base. Looks like he's going to clear another Maxim in red cover. Maybe. No, he gets suppressed. That one barely gets away, but so much manpower bleed. So much manpower bleed. Mortar pushes that Maxim away. Another Maxim set up in this house. Axis are about to take full control of the north with this squad of grenadiers pretty much unopposed, while Gaddaffi keeps these Maxims completely contained. He might get a free squad wipe right here too if he switches targets. Not quite. That squad of... oh, yeah, he does wipe it on the retreat. That squad of Folks Grenadiers does have to pull back to safety. Battle group headquarters is here, but no retreat point unlock, and he's going with the infantry support gun instead. And even though it kind of sucks, it's actually still pretty good on this map, especially in this situation where your opponent is going through this choke point for the entire game.
Heavy machine guns are now available.
pretty good chance you're going to get a decent amount of kills. Not to mention against this super heavy tier 2. Indirect fire is never a bad thing, even if it's shitty over Commando West indirect fire. Wow, that bunker placement though, that's
That is a sturdy bunker.
I don't even know what the purpose is. Machine gun bunker right there, really? I guess he just wants to not have to worry about protecting this cutoff. I don't know, it seems like a weird decision to me. But, alright. Sure. Machine gun bunker going up right there. Demo charge wipes that Pio squad. I'm kind of ambivalent on the Pio wipe there. I'm not entirely sure that's worth the 90 munitions you spend. They're just Pios. But I guess it's nice to get them off the field. Force your opponent to purchase a new one. If the squad has a flamethrower, I think it's much more worth it, of course.
Smokes now available for armor.
Mortars being exchanged. Most tier mortars only up to 1 kill currently. Needs to be moved up into a slightly more aggressive location. Wow, to bombard that. If the infantry support gun gets into a good position, it can probably do pretty significant damage to this clump as well. The super heavy tier 2 opening by the Soviets, he's going to want to spread out at least a little bit if he doesn't want to get nailed by his opponent's indirect fire. And this is just asking for a Stuka, by the way. Gaddaffi has gone with tier 2 rather than tier 3. Probably wants to go tier 4 next. If he goes, which he has in fact, tier 4 structure going up here. So no Stuka, at least not for a long time. Which is probably why he went with the infantry support gun. He knows he's not going to have a Stuka with this build, but he wants to have some kind of indirect fire. And it's already starting to do a little bit of damage. Gets his first kill, and the Oster mortar, of course, is doing very nicely as well. Soviet player completely failing to break his containment here, and the other Soviet player is so passive down here in the south. He doesn't make a big push forward. He doesn't really gain that much by simply defending this single victory point. The Axis are perfectly happy to camp on the 2 victory points they currently hold. And the manpower bleed here is extremely painful. I mean, just look at the command point difference. Chisaki up to 4 command points because of the incredible lethality of all of his engagements so far. Double the command points of his teammate. Only just now getting to 2, who, as a result, by the way, does not benefit from Soviet industry yet. Floating 1,000 manpower, and manpower float as industry can make sense since you find yourself really short on manpower in the late game once the fuel transfer kicks in. But 9 minutes into the game, still not benefiting from that. In fact, the only reason he just got to 3 command points is from the purchase of this tier 3 structure. But of course that will get the fuel transfer going up to 39 fuel coming in per minute for him. I think we're probably going to see a lot of T-34 production from this point forward. And it will be on the Axis to try to defend against big T-34 rushes. And that's probably the point at which he intends to turn up the aggression, but I think he could have benefited from a much more aggressive early game. The Axis have been allowed to get quite comfortable here. Mortar bombarding this area. Maxim will be forced to retreat from the Panzer II there in the south. Field gun is in a nice location to screen, but it just took a kind of unfortunate retreat path. That field gun might want to rotate. And it does, but the light tank is simply going to disengage. Meanwhile, no progress on this front at all. Axis are keeping the Allies completely contained on that bridge. Infantry support gun, up to 5 kills. Kind of just kind of whittling away at those team weapons. Nothing all that impressive, but slowly getting a return on his investment.
My half-track is in action. Standing by for
Looks
setting
like that
of
Maxim
command
will be
post.
salvaged by those Volksgrenadiers, and the Panzer II is going to keep this containment going. I don't know if there's any AT in this area yet. Doesn't look like it. No field gun purchased by Chisaki, who has gone with shock motor. T-70 on the field from FakDaPoliceee. Decided to open with that instead of T-34. Can make sense as a first purchase. Try and hit the field a little bit earlier. Dealing significant damage to Axis infantry formations and forcing retreats. Takes a Panzer Faustbild, needs some repairs. With some pretty significant manpower bleed already. 4 kills. Shock troops making their way to the center of the map as well. Panzer II trying to do similar harassment here in the south. Minesweeper support. Nice play by Gaddaffi to get that mine cleaned up. He is pinned, however. Might consider using the Panzer II to destroy that mine instead of sweeping it. And he deploys Fallschirmjäger out of the building on the flank of that Maxim. Nice play getting those Fallschirmjäger out of that building. May be able to wipe this if he chases. Not going to chase though. And that is a big manpower expenditure, and when you already have Tier 4 constructed, it can be a lot more efficient to go with Obersoldaten. But it does allow him to secure these strategic points and get the munitions in the south back under control a little bit quicker. And it can be nice as Oberkommando West to have the utility of the Fallschirmjäger Panzerfaust. Engine damage, especially against industry, although industry tends to be quite solid against 4-man infantry squads as well. Wiping them rather quickly with mass T-34s or the KV-2, so kind of a risk-reward situation there. Dangerously close to that mine. Ooh, that hurt. That's a lot of manpower bleed, and that squad's gonna have to retreat. But the Maxim there will retreat from Grenadiers on the flank. These Grenadiers moving up, trying to take out that field gun, will do significant damage. Infantry support gun not getting any lucky hits here. And Sturm Pioneers are gonna make their way towards the south. Whoa, what happened here? Holy crap. Wow, nice play by those 2 mortars. I didn't even notice that they were bombarding that Tier 4 structure. Bit of a mistake by Gaddaffi to leave it so undefended there. That didn't stand a chance against those 2 mortars. Nice pickup by the Allies, and he didn't make a single unit out of that besides his looks.
To our presence. Prepare for counter-strike.
Maxim setting up here on the strategic point. Rifle grenades is going to clear out that Maxim machine gun. Really nice grenade. Both Maxims cleared. That's going to be more free fuel for the Oberkommando West. That's another reason not to Maxim spam, by the way. You give the OKW so much free fuel if they can salvage like a zillion Soviet team weapons. Very risky in that regard. Ooh, high explosive barrage gets cancelled and wastes 60 munitions right there. Raketenwerfer and Volksgrenadiers set up in green cover here to counter this push. Getting pushed out of cover. Raketenwerfer very slow to fire. Anti-tank gun does get a shot off, however, dealing significant damage. The church will collapse. T-34 is going to pull back completely for repairs. That clump of troops is just asking to get nailed. Infantry support guns at Vet 1 now, with 12 kills, slowly getting a return on that investment. Nice mortar hit, brings those Volksgrenadiers low. They're probably going to want to retreat. Really late retreat there from Gaddaffi. Extremely late retreat from Gaddaffi. Squad gets wiped. That squad also has to pull back. And Gaddafi's infantry forces are looking a little weak. letting some of those squads get overextended. He also still has no retreat point unlocked, so every time he retreats, he is retreating all the way back to HQ. And look at this, he actually has gone with tier 3 to counter this huge tier 2 opening from the Soviets, which I suspect means he's going Stuka next, but it's or maybe just straight for King Tiger? I don't know. He doesn't have that much fuel. Peri, his teammate, has gone to tier 4. Probably going to see him go straight for Panther, trying to mass the manpower he needs for that right now. It's a little on the late side. He was clearly bleeding manpower a lot, so.
Grenadiers rising in the ranks! We are losing a sector.
Couldn't get that at an optimal time, but once that Panther hits the field, it will be a very powerful weapon against Soviet industry. It's probably one of the best things you can have as Ulster against Soviet industry, since the Panther, with its high mobility and armor, is so good against T-34 spam, and it can effectively flank a KV-2. You can outproduce the KV-2s. You kind of want to have a second Panther out by the time that KV-2 hits the field, if possible. Also, huge flow from FakDaPoliceee, who is not really spending his resources that much. Might consider getting a few extra squads of combat engineers. With that ridiculous manpower float, or something. He's got the fuel for a T-34. I don't know why he wouldn't field one. But we will see some pretty good fuel harassment over here on the fuel point by this T-70 with supporting Maxim. In fact, the Allies are taking control of most of the entire north, and the Axis decision to go straight to that Panther, of course, is expensive. Now that the Panthers hit the field, hopefully they can make a dramatic impact with it, get some of this territory back. Panther immediately locates a T-70 and will chase it away from the Soviet base. All of its shots are missing. There, finally. Panther can probably seal the deal. If it would stop missing, that's 3 out of 4 shots missed, forcing it into a pretty dangerous engagement here. T-34 will ram the Panther, damaging its engine with a lucky penetration on the Panther's frontal armor. Field gun rotating to fire. I think it can get to safety. Probably. As long as nothing else in the area tries to follow up. Really wanted to kill that T-70. Got some really bad luck during that engagement, though. T-70 somehow managed to make it to safety. Gaddaffi decides to go not with a Stuka, but with a Jagdpanzer. I think he may have spotted one of these repair stations, so he knows that he's up against industry. Jagdpanzer definitely a good call.
F1 assault is now available. Stukas and Fallschirmjäger strike force is ready.
This mortar's been cleared, needs to be recrewed. Bunker constructed in this area to defend the VP. Machine gun available here as well. Infantry support gun taking a little bit of damage. Jagdpanzer moves up to take shots. Ooh, nice shot from that flanking ScHrEkEd squad. Takes out that T-34 from the side with Jagdpanzer support from the road. Grenadiers here trying to clear out that field gun, bringing it quite low. Rifle grenade could potentially clear out this mortar as well. Doesn't have the munitions for it though. Jagdpanzer moving up, Fallschirmjäger and supporting infantry here. Anti-tank gun moving up as well. T-70's overextended. Jagdpanzer snipes it. There it goes. Nice flank by the by the looks here, clearing out that Maxim. T-34 wants to punish it, going in hard. Very dangerous maneuver by the T-34 here. He will be able to kill that looks. Whether he gets away with this T-34, I don't know. Oh, it just got abandoned. He needs to stick around for one more shot to just fully destroy it. There he goes. Him needing to do that probably just lost him his T-34. It falls extremely low. Jagdpanzer looks like it's going to get one more shot off, and it does. T-34 is destroyed, but he does take out the Panzer II with it. He's now floating 1,600 manpower, 180 fuel, not purchasing more T-34s. Fields an extra Maxim, of all things. Look how much fuel there is here for the OKW to salvage. He's not got very much infantry left, but if he could just get up here with a couple squads of Volksgrenadiers, he could get 30 fuel from these team weapons. Or he could get team weapons, either way. He would kind of Could either make his army bigger or his fuel reserves bigger. Both would be good, since having a Stuka would be a nice luxury item. Getting a King Tiger out a little faster would be nice. Either way, need to capitalize on this. Okay, well, don't do that. That's... seems like a waste. Oh well. ScHrEkEd here in the north engaging shock troops have a big health advantage. Grenade being tossed though. Nice dodge. He will react in time. I'm not sure who will win this engagement. Okay, ScHrEkEd will win. It's going to come down to whether or not ScHrEkEd models started dropping really quickly. Fortunately, the shock troops spread their damage across the entire squad. Somehow the Axis still haven't retaken this territory over here on the right side. That's been harassed for a really long time. Finally getting that fuel back under control should help to significantly bolster the Axis income. Allies moving to take control of this strategic point here. Infantry support gun has been decrewed, unfortunately. Panther, however, has been fully repaired, and with the Jagdpanzer available to support, which is Vet 1 also, it should have a very powerful anti-tank arsenal, but ooh, there's an ISU-152 on the field. Fortunately, it does not have high explosive rounds equipped yet, making it a significant threat to the Jagdpanzer and Panther, but not necessarily to AT guns or Volksgrenadiers. Of course, the Panther can always attempt a flank. Currently protecting the flank is one anti-tank gun. Currently protecting the flank is only one anti-tank gun, nothing else. So that Panther could probably make a play against that ISU. Well, maybe there's a second anti-tank gun moving up. I don't know why FakDaPoliceee won't spend his manpower, though. If he absolutely insists on making only KV-2s or something, I don't even know. Gaddaffi up to 14 CPs. FakDaPoliceee has only 11. Lethality of his engagements has not been very high. Very passive. He could boost his XP. He could boost his XP or CPs or whatever, and lower his manpower float by building fuel caches. That would benefit both him and his teammate and help with his tank production. And again, they'd have to actually hold some strategic points to be able to do that. Gaddaffi is harassing one of the only ones they do hold there in the south. T-70 making its way down there to counter. Infantry support gun still hasn't been recrewed. Kind of a big manpower investment to just leave sitting there. If you don't intend to recrew it because you feel it's a waste of pop cap, you can always salvage it later in the game. And at this point, there's actually not really that much Soviet infantry left for it to shoot at, so I could definitely see salvaging it. Being a slightly better option. Pack 43 going up here from Peri. Cancels it though, since bomb runs coming in. Probably didn't have to retreat there, he could have just repositioned and then built it again. Although now that the Soviets have played their hand and revealed that they have bomb run, maybe a good idea to just not even build a Pack 43 at all, unless you feel very confident in your map control that they're not going to be able to spam that ability, which they can't really. 27 munitions coming in. If they could cut off this munitions in the north, Pack 43 would probably be relatively safe from bomb runs. T-70 harassing those Sturm Pioneers in the south will get picked up by the Jagdpanzer. Panther is available in this area, but it's being quite hesitant with that ISU-152 and that KV-2 on the field. Needs to be very careful with it. KV-2 will get spotted by that anti-tank gun and reposition ever so slightly. ISU-152 blows up this bunker here. These infantryman formations probably also going to be quite vulnerable. Wow, that high explosive round just penetrated the front of a Jagdpanzer. That's unusual, right? That one bounced. I don't know what the penetration is on that. That was kind of unlucky for Gaddaffi. The second ISU has been fielded here. That one has armor-piercing rounds equipped. This one still has high explosive. His tank gun has been cleared. The Jagdpanzer continues to miss or bounce, accomplishing nothing. Grenadiers move up, do get one shot off. Panther support is badly needed, but he needs to flank. If he engages frontally, he's going to take a lot of damage. That's already been brought down to half health. Grenade will prompt a retreat there. High explosive rounds continue to miss, but that Grenadier squad is at half health. One lucky shot could definitely take that squad down. Pack 43 going up here. Interesting decision. 70 fuel away from a bomb, or 60 munitions away from a bomb run. That Pack 43 should be able to push these vehicles out of the center. Oh, if they can finish building it. It does complete building. Should start firing any second. If it can get vision. Doesn't look like it has vision. Grenadiers need to move up to provide it. There it is. Pack 43 misses its first shot. ISU slowly gets to safety. Spread those Grenadiers out. Oh, I guess they weren't. The squad didn't even take damage, so it seems to be spread out enough. Pack 43 continues to miss all shots. The Jagdpanzer nails it once. Pack 43 hasn't landed a single hit though. His tank gun moved up from this angle, trying to fire, but ISU 152 is slightly out of range. His tank gun gets cleared there. Jagdpanzer is up to Vet 2, making it pretty powerful against these heavy assault guns, but does have to be careful with it. Panthers pulled back to receive some repairs over here, and they need to manage this threat very carefully. If they can destroy these 3 units, they'll probably win the game. This anti-tank gun should provide pretty good protection. If they can protect this, they can keep those assault guns from advancing too close. Needs to rotate it a little more in this direction though. KV-2 nailing those Volksgrenadiers in the central capture circle. The Allies only have 50 points remaining. The Axis don't need to hold the line for that much longer here. And to try to avoid too many unnecessary squad wipes. Fortunately, there's a lot of infantry left here. Some of it in the base, some of it still in the center. Repairs going up on the Panther slowly. Once that's repaired, it'll be able to move to re-engage and assist. If we can get a big flank off on these assault guns, that could be big. He's having trouble mustering the manpower for a second Panther, though, because of the purchase of this Pack 43. But I think this was probably a good decision, despite his fuel float, because you can see the effect it's having, keeping all those heavy assault guns out of the middle. Lots of smoke grenades being tossed here on the center VP. Even if the Allies do manage to take control of this position, the Axis still have 492 victory points on the board to get rid of, and a lot of fuel in the bank with which to make a comeback if they do get pushed back here a little. Pack 43 is taking heavy damage from that high explosive barrage and will get decrewed. Lots of Grenadiers available here to recrew it though, with Battle Group headquarters right there. As long as the gun itself doesn't get destroyed, should be able to maintain that gun. Panther moving in on a big flank on those ISU 152s. It has a lot of health to get rid of though. Without support, it's not going to be able to do all that much. They're both switching to armor-piercing rounds here. Not to mention there's 2 field guns right there to support. Panther bit off more than it could chew and does have to pull back to safety. ISU lands a huge hit, second huge hit. Is that a high explosive round? Yes, it was. Why did that high explosive round penetrate the front of a Panther? I don't understand. Is that bugged or something? What is happening? Was that like extremely lucky? What is the penetration on that? Why is that penetrating a Panther at range on the frontal armor? It's very confusing. I don't get why that Panther just died. Pack 43 firing at these ISU 152s. Still missing all of its shots though, and these high explosive barrages from the field guns are inflicting a lot of damage here. Vet 1 Come on, finish the job. It's a different one. One more shot. Nope, both pull back to safety. Not a whole lot of forces left in this area. Looks like Gaddaffi's going to get himself a Stuka to try and deal with these field guns. The Pak-43 hanging on by a thread. Not any infantry left here in the middle to defend. 2 squads of Grenadiers, a squad of Fallschirmjäger making its way to the front lines. In fact, Gaddaffi is operating on only Fallschirmjäger, which is not very manpower efficient, but certainly should be effective against these field guns. Wow, ISU just got decrewed by Jagdpanzer on the flank up here in the north. Nice play by Gaddaffi. Should be able to destroy that if he can just land one more hit. Oh, come on, finish that thing off. Don't let that get away. KV-2 bombarding the center, dealing heavy damage. 3 points remaining for the Allies. 3 points. The Axis just need to take control of this or the North VP for just a few seconds. Stuka bombarding somewhere. In the back. He's had enough of that mortar, apparently. Mortar gets wiped. Interesting choice to go for the mortar. We'll get that off the field. A fresh Panther has been fielded. It still has quite a lot of fuel reserves to continue making those. Camo on the Jagdpanzer here. An armor-piercing round just bounced off the front of that Jagdpanzer. What are they, like reversed or something? High explosive shell just penetrated. And an armor-piercing shell just bounced. Are the graphics bugged? Are the graphics reversed? Am I misunderstanding like how this works? I must be. There's no way that... Somebody needs to tell me what's going on here. It doesn't make any sense. Pak-43 has been destroyed because he needs to save all of his manpower for tanks, not to mention some fresh pyos for repairs. Ooh, we could see nice harassment up here, though. Oh, those Fallschirmjäger are gonna die. I don't think, yeah, they're not gonna succeed. Secure mode from the T-70 to get that victory point back under control. Maxim firing on these Fallschirmjäger, more Fallschirmjäger trying to move up. Again, Fallschirmjäger very manpower inefficient. He's gonna be bleeding like crazy trying to win this game on nothing but Fallschirmjäger, but his Jagdpanzer certainly is doing good work. It would be nice to have a squad of Sturmpyos on the field for proper repairs, faster repairs. Fallschirmjäger moving around the south flank will need to deal with those conscripts. KV-2 one-shots the squad. Stuka firing on the center to try and clear out some of these seam weapons. Axis need to think carefully about what their next step is here. If I were them, I would try and spam Panthers. Just like 4 Panthers. They have huge fuel reserves. If they just make a zillion Panthers and then make a big push for the North VP with like 5 Panthers or something between the two of them, they could easily overwhelm this position, get that VP taken. Of course, they would need to maintain their control on the South VP during that time. They're about to get pushed completely off the center village by these ISUs. But they have a ton of time, 400 victory point lead, only 3 victory points for their opponent. All they have to do is mass a bunch of tanks with their huge fuel reserves and make a good play. Wouldn't go with heavy tanks if I were them, because a King Tiger against this many heavy assault guns probably wouldn't do very well. I would just go with the medium armor swarm. Really need to dodge those grenades too. That was no reason for them to lose that engagement right there. Stuka's up to 12 kills, will be available to barrage against soon. ISU 152 pounding away at this bunker, which actually ended up being kind of useful. So, joke's on me. Jagdpanzer with Vet 3 flanking the ISU-152's dangerous move. Switching to armor-piercing rounds. This one's already got armor-piercing rounds equipped. Vet 4. Oh, I'm not sure it's going to survive this. 2 shots. 1. 2. And I'm pretty sure there's no way to make a Jagdpanzer hold fire, by the way. There was not anything Gaddaffi could do about that. It used to be able to hold fire while invisible, but that's been removed, I think. I'm pretty sure. Nice toss! Oh, I thought that was a nice toss. I guess I was wrong. They retreated anyway, though. I think they were going to win that engagement, but they retreated.
Ready to deploy.
So, the psychological effect of that grenade apparently was sufficient. Going in prematurely with these Panthers is not good. That Jagdpanzer loss really hurts. This Panther loss, should it die, will hurt. They needed mass tanks. Look at these fuel reserves. No reason to engage yet. Getting very impatient. Railway artillery dropped on that field gun. Stuka firing as well. Oh, that Stuka barrage though. That clutch Stuka barrage takes out the ISU-152. Gambled and got a big payoff right there. Railway artillery is not really doing that much, although it does wipe a combat engineer squad. That's kind of a shame to throw away that Jagdpanzer and Panther like that when you've got this much fuel in the bank. If you just spend all that fuel before moving to engage, secure a bit of an advantage for yourself, and then push. Much better chance of success, especially against these heavy assault guns, which just love to take out big targets one at a time, but have a lot of trouble dealing with a huge swarm. Only one Panther now on the field. Gaddaffi making a King Tiger. Not sure I agree with that decision. Obviously, it's good at absorbing a little bit of firepower, but it's so slow. Hard for it to get a meaningful flank off on these assault guns. Having the mobility of a Panther is really nice. ISU moves up, trying to take out this mechanized regiment HQ here. Armor-piercing rounds loaded. Whoa, that was weird. Did that ram just get canceled, or not sure what happened? Panther again going in solo. Nice usage of the T-34, by the way, to block its movements. That's really nice support there by the T-34 on the ISU. Shut down that Panther flank. But yeah, he really shouldn't have done that. He keeps on engaging with one Panther at a time. He used to have huge fuel reserves. Now he's gonna buy one more Panther. If he would have just built 4 Panthers, sent them all in at the same time, this would be an entirely different game. Such a shame to be sending them in one at a time like that and exhausting all that banked fuel without accomplishing anything. ScHrEkEd just suiciding in the center. They're not going to accomplish anything like that. What do you think that's going to do? 31 kills on that KV2. King Tiger pushing alone. Kind of dangerously unsupported here. Go straight for the field gun. Start taking that out. ISU-152s here in the north both have armor-piercing rounds equipped. King Tiger's, I think, already going to die. Looks like it's already going to die. Might round the corner just in time. I think it might get clear. Maybe. If those ISUs chase around the corner, though, I'm not sure what's going to happen. Bomb run getting called in. Teammate does get out of his way. ISUs lands one hit, and the bomb runs plus ISU fire will destroy it. No traffic jam. No miscommunication, just nice timing on the bombing run. Nice play by those ISUs to get that King Tiger easily, in fact, which again without proper mobility. Didn't really stand a chance there. Definitely think Panther spam would have been the right call. I certainly don't think a Panzerwerfer is going to have much to offer, but sure. I mean, ScHrEkEd's already doing a pretty good job of indirect fire, clearing out team weapons. Panzerwerfer can help, but obviously this tier 2 from the Soviets is not the Axis' primary concern. It's this. But it may be too late for the Axis to do anything about that now.
Tanks are now available to burn the Germans back to Berlin.
I have a feeling that ScHrEkEd's gonna die. Maybe not. Could be wrong. Almost looks like it's in range. Panzerwerfer bombarding. There's not really any reason to fire at these with a Panzerwerfer, although he does actually nail 4 shock troops with that barrage, so that's something. Here comes another Panther solo attempt. I also, by the way, think that the Axis should have been focusing on this with that King Tiger, not on the center. Look how heavily defended the center is. Allies are only just now taking control of the south. Both of these shacks have been destroyed. That building has also been destroyed. Maybe some Fallschirmjäger fielded out of this. Try and go for that North VP. Buildings here in the south still available for Fallschirmjäger that want to counter that Maxim. While these two ISU-152s are tied up in this area, it's a perfect opportunity to try and harass this VP. The Panther, where's the Panther going? He needs the Panther up there in the north. He really needs that Panther up there in the north to push away this T-70. Oh no, where's this Panther going? Is he really going to try and fight these? Just try and win the game. Nice play by Gaddaffi in the south to retake this victory point. Oh my god. I can't believe that Panther left. What was he thinking? I think that's going to cost him the game. 3 field guns have been deployed to this area to screen against that Panther should it re-engage. Both infantry squads are forced to retreat. Gaddaffi does successfully secure the south. Panther's here now, but he's pushing this area without infantry support, so he can't take control of this victory points. Gaddaffi doesn't have the munitions for airborne assault here. Shock troops in the south push away Gaddaffi's harassment attempt. I think his failure to bring that Panther to the north to help his Pios. I mean, maybe it didn't lose them the game. They still have a lot of time, but it certainly would have won them the game, I think, if he had just played that a little better. I really kind of think this is a waste of manpower. Is this really going to accomplish anything? Other than force the ISU-152s to go park right here instead of on the road? Cancels it, retreats. Got a lot of manpower. If they just mass some grenadiers or something, just group up with your teammate, make a good push for the north, which is still quite lightly defended. There's still a ScHrEkEd on the field to clear AT guns. We really just need to avoid the ISUs, which have terrible mobility. Panzer Grenadiers. Kind of expensive. Grenadiers, I mean, really need Panzer Grenadiers? I guess they'll clear team weapons a little quicker. I guess that's fine. I guess it honestly doesn't really make that much difference. Just needs something. Units of some kind. Panther's receiving repairs right here. Gaddaffi's options are a little limited since he lost his oh, he rebuilt his tier 4 right here. So I think he wants to go for a Panther. Probably a good call if he can push with his teammate here towards the north with Stuka support to clear the field guns. Double Panther, take out that collection of vehicles. Probably could secure the north VP if timed with some harassment here in the south with a Fallschirmjäger thing, which is actually no longer possible because that KV-2 just destroyed this building, actually. So now the Axis really do have no choice but to make a huge coordinated push, kill a ton of stuff, and take 2 victory points. Going through the north would be easiest, since trying to cross this choke point is pretty much certain death. Don't go fast now, not much happens. Oh. Kind of assuming that means the Axis fail to break through. So that's certainly what it looks like is going to happen. And another Panther's about to go into the meat grinder here. Although that ISU does fall dangerously low, Panther blitzes to safety. Shock troops under cover of smoke try to clear the Pack 43, which needs to keep firing. Why won't it keep firing? Grenade clears the weapon. Shock troops going to get maybe wipes. Yes, they do. Oversoldat on the field as well. Pack 43 had a chance to take out that thing, but it didn't utilize attack ground, I don't think. Should be able to pull back for repairs, generally fine. Panther being repaired, Gaddaffi going for a Panther, I think. No. And a bunch of Stern Pyos. 75 points left. Here comes the final push for the center. KV-8's going to shut that down. Stern Pioneers wipe. Vet 2 Panther making its way to the forward front line. Probably gonna die. There are a lot of repair stations on this map.
Forward elements report and infantry unit lost.
Panther takes a huge burst of damage right there. Stern Pioneers going to fail to take this. Just into the meat grinder. 2 squads of Stern's gone. Bomb run's gonna take out the Pack 43. 18 points left. Somehow they managed to harass this thing in the south, but their attempt for the north didn't go quite as well. And that's the game. I think the major lesson to be learned here is that if you have huge fuel reserves, mass an army before making a big push, especially on through a choke point. And just be calm. Don't panic about your situation. If your opponent has 3 victory points left, you have 400. You don't need to make any rushed plays. You don't need to make any poor decisions, sacrifice a lone Panther, a lone Jagdpanzer. Just keep your cool, really. Make a proper, well-executed push with your teammate, of course. And I think you'll experience a lot more success. And really, that's exactly what the Allies did when things were coming down to the wire for them. Only 3 points remaining. They made a big push for the center victory point. Executed rather well, and they won. Had to take advantage of a lot of Axis mistakes, pull this victory out, but they somehow managed it by the end. So, good game. Allies win.